So start with the tree.
The whole story?
Yes, tell me the story of the tree.
So, a long time ago, when it was just trees, all the trees wanted sunlight. They need sunlight to grow. Some trees wanted to keep growing and growing and growing so they'd get as most sunlight as possible. God, or whoever, someone once said that they drew a line in the sky, basically, and said, you cannot grow past this point. You will take too much light, and my light is not just for you, it is for all. We must share it. There is only so much. We must cherish it. Some trees heard this voice. We'll call it a voice, not God. Some trees heard this voice, and they listened. They stopped growing. Other trees kept growing. Taller and taller and taller. To a point where they passed the point where the voice told them to stop growing. So that voice punished them. It took away their leaves, which absorbed the light and gave them food and energy. The voice took away their leaves for a season, but left the trees who listen keep their leaves year round.
So as like the seasons changed, like the trees that grew too high, their leaves died because of the climate.
Yeah.
The climate that was created. So instead of them ever growing, they now had to die off a little bit to suppress.
Share the light.
Share the light. And that's why we have evergreens. And that's why they're evergreen.
And that's why they are forever green.
This tree over here has a vine on it. And I believe that it's because it grew too fast and was ignorant and wanted too much sunlight. It wanted too much from this world too fast. And so
now
naturally
it is helping provide for another plant.
Exactly. Now naturally another vine grew on top of it and is suppressing that tree and is providing for another tree. Something else to grow from it. It's like natural evolution. I believe that when I was younger, that all my friends were hunters and hunted deer in high school, and I thought that was weird to kill an animal. Honestly, that's too pathetic to want to ever even have any interest to do that. But like the fact that they had to do that because there was too many deer everywhere. We were hitting too many deer on the roads.
You gotta thin the herd.
So we had to thin the herd. Now that's honestly like terrible to say and that should never happen, but that's what's going on with war, is we're just thinning our herd. Naturally, we're not listening to each other, and naturally, we're killing each other off. And naturally, COVID came. Mother Nature gave us viruses and bugs to kill us off, to like regulate how many people were on this earth, so it could survive longer.
That's what the Black Plague was originally thought to be.
Yes.
That's why it's called the Black Plague. It was thought to be a plague from God.
We're like these trees. They're asking for too much.
Exactly.
We're these trees begging for too much sunlight. We're being suppressed by Mother Nature. And we will continue to be suppressed as long as we continue to kill this earth. I feel like everything needs to go strictly to natural resources. Or just unifying the people. We need to listen to each other so we can honestly progress together. I don't know it much, but I know how to conversate, and that starts with open ears and lips that can validate. It's ears that can listen and lips that can validate. Speak your opinion after you've already heard theirs and said, okay, I don't necessarily agree, but I understand where you're coming from. You gotta love your center. You gotta love the person next to you that you're talking to before you can hate the sin that they're talking about. You have to be able to love them first and hear where they came from. We need to be able to control what's going on around us, like naturally, and rely on something that can infinitely produce.